Now, before we get into this entertaining video, we would just like to remind you to like and subscribe.
Yes, please do like and subscribe.
Sunflowers! Well, hello there, everyone, and how are you guys today? Well, I am here because actually I was curious about what was going on with Ice Spice, and apparently Cleo Trappa is coming out. I'm not sure how long she has been friends with Ice Spice, but the way she makes it sound, it seems like they've been friends for quite a while, and they are no longer friends because Ice Spice had in this. Okay, here's how it all went down. Here's how it first started. As I said, they were apparently friends, but I'm not sure how long because at this point in Cleopatra's career, talking in past tense, she was on in an interview or getting interviewed, and this specific interviewer had asked her what nationality or ethnicity is Ice Spice. Like, is she Nigerian? And Cleo Trappa, being, authentic and honest to herself, she said, I personally don't know Ice Spice that well enough to talk on her ethnicity, so she did not feel comfortable answering that question. And apparently, Ice Spice was upset that Cleo Trappa did not defend her. So because of that, I'm not sure if they patched that up or if it was just something that they just moved past in their friendship. Because fast forward to today, or within this last within the last 12 months, Cleo Trappa was invited to go on tour with Ice Spice, the Y2K tour, and at first she was saying no, but then Ice Spice was like, "Oh man, come on, I want you to perform for me." So Cleo Trappa said, "All right, I will come and be on the tour." And Ice Spice was hyping her up, and that's the way Cleo Trappa presented it. That Ice Spice was hyping her up, like, "Yeah, come on tour." And so that's what she did, and she was like, "I got you, it's all gonna be good," and stuff like that. So Cleo Trappa gets to go on the Y2K tour, and it is completely nothing like she expected. Apparently, Ice Spice maybe was isolating some of the hairdressers, and there is allegedly another hairdresser or stylist that was there that was not a part of the group that was isolated, but was a part of Ice Spice group, and he can agree with Cleo Trappa that indeed it did seem to be some isolation between the two groups. So I'm not sure really what was going on behind the scenes, but all that to be said, Cleo Trappa no longer wants to be friends after Ice Spice with this, because she felt like Ice Spice left her hanging to dry, basically. She's like, "You're going to invite me onto the tour, you're going to prep me." She's like, "You're going to hype me up to come on this tour and be along and say that everything is going to be taken care for," or at least that's the way she interpreted it. I'm not exactly sure what is going on here. That's exactly why I'm here to read the cards. But after that, she feels some type of way, because she was like, "I feel like Ice Spice was intentionally trying to make me feel bad," as maybe she didn't use this word, but this is the way it kind of came off to me, because this is like some petty tit for tat. This was Ice Spice's way of getting back or getting revenge on or dissing or doing her dirty, as a way to show her, "This is how I felt, and now we're even, and now we can just go our separate ways. You understand where we stand. I'm glad you understand that." So that's what it kind of feels like. So I'm trying to really find out this card. I'm going to be reading on specifically Ice Spice today, but that was just to give you guys a backstory that not only is it Cleotrapa that is speaking out, another hairstylist, a male hairstylist that also seems to be darker in complexion, because apparently Ice Spice is tied up to some colorism, racism. What is she? Racially ambiguous drama. I mean, listen, I totally get it. I thought she was Dominican. When I heard her own, oh shit, she came out, first off, she was a mumble rapper. And now suddenly she sounded crystal clear in a rap song. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, she has an accent. But like literally when I heard her talk about the situation, that even both Ice Spice and her manager had came out saying that, oh yeah, this is going to represent Ice Spice. I'm specifically reading on Ice Spice and her energy and if she is a mean girl, because that is what is out about her. That is the rumor on the street. That's how she's being perceived. That's how she's acting. Maybe it's just the posse she has around her. I'm not quite sure, but let's see. Or who knows? It could be, I find it kind of questionable, just as a side tip note. I did find it really questionable. I mean, everybody was saying Ice Spice was a plant, but when you really think about it, Ice Spice was hanging around with Taylor Swift. How did she get up there that high and that nonchalant? Like, think of what tier Taylor Swift is. And here goes Ice Spice sitting with Taylor Swift, not once, but a couple of times at events. So, y'all make that make sense. So, for her to be acting this kind of way, not that I'm side-eyeing Taylor or anything like that, but just for her to act, just for Ice Spice to act in this kind of way, maybe it has to deal with image, and maybe she was just like, this is what I do, but also Ice Spice, if that was something you did as to be malicious, that definitely did the opposite of what you wanted it to do, was it hurt your image. So let's hope this isn't going to be something that she cannot bounce back from, but we will find out. I will shuffle the cards now. I think I shared with you guys everything I know about what's going on. Oh yeah, apparently Ice Spice is supposed to be an actor in alongside Denzel Washington. I'm not sure if that horror film had came out, or if it was a horror film, or if it was a thriller, but okay. That's all I got. Ice Spice everywhere. So we're gonna shuffle, and see if Ice Spice is a mean girl. Let's see if she's a meanie. Okay. First off, can I just quickly talk about how, just thinking about the very importance of Ice Spice's birthday. She was born January 1st, 2000. Now, first off, I was already tripping the fact that she was born on January 1st, the first day of the first year. But no, it's not better than that. She was born on the first day, in the first month of the year, in the first month of the new turn of the century, because she was born in the year 2000. So Ice Spice rightfully owns her spotlight, just based off of numerology. And if we really want to talk about that, January 1st is a 2, because January is 1 and the 1st is also a 1, so that becomes a 2. And she was born in the year 2000, which is the number 2. And if you put that together, 2 and 2 is 4. So you can say altogether that Ice Spice has maybe all the primal energy. She has 1, 2s, and 4s all in there. So, okay. Just to briefly talk about that, and just really saying that if she is an industry plant, it's written in the stars, literally through numerology. All right, let's see if she's a mean girl. Just had to quickly put that out there real quick. And the year had just suddenly came to me right when I said I wanted to just briefly point that out, because I was just like, oh my god. because I was just having the conversation about how the song, you know, um, the moon is in the seventh house. You know, the Age of Aquarius song. Yeah, I was thinking about that and how, like, literally back then they were just thinking about how the turn of the century was getting ready to come. And they thought that was going to be the Age of the Aquarius, but we now are in the Age of the Aquarius. But not to bog you down with astrology real quick, I just had to put that out there. Just speaking on Ice Spice real quick. So what is going on with Ice Spice at this very moment? This is Ice Spice, and one is right above her head, is some despair, which just basically means, like I said earlier, if she was trying to save her image, she did not do that. She did the complete opposite. And having not just one, but two, or even more. I've only heard of these two people that have came out to talk about how Ice Spice treats them. And because of that, and especially in Hollywood, you don't want to get the name Mean Girl. So all that to be said, we see right here despair, and that just basically means that this current outing, exposure, people talking about her, people analyzing her, Ice Spice trying to get her manager to do some PR. I don't think he did it very well. He basically put the fault on the company of Cleopatra. Even Cleopatra's company took some responsibility and kind of accountability for that one too. But all that to just be said, I don't think it looked really good for Ice Spice's manager to pop off on Twitter or X, however you want to call it. So that to be said, this situation is not handled very well at this very moment, and it's only 2 days fresh. And somebody has also came out to I do or I to that, so it's not looking good. I'm not really sure if this is going to have effects with her getting brand deals or being in sponsorships, but whatever it is at this very moment. I can't say, it's really hard to say with the despair card here to say that this sun is a sunny disposition. And also because the sun is at the very bottom of everything, there's a whole lot weighing down on this sun. So to basically say the sun is not very sunning, and because of that, it is, overshadowed at this very moment. So Ice Spice's stardom, what she does for a living, her career in her music is currently being overlooked. Her creative ability or her creative talents, however you guys want to put that. I know there's going to be a debate on that one. But all of the creativity that is Ice Spice, the brand, is being overshadowed by Ice Spice, the personality. You know, the person behind Ice Spice, the persona, the girl behind Ice Spice shaking booty on stage. Whoever is like showing her mean girl face, it's putting a damper on Ice Spice's image, creativity, instead of saying creativity, I'm going to say the ability to shine like a star. Like they say, I mean, I know they say all publicity is good. All publicity is good publicity. But we're slowly starting to come to the point, especially with cancel culture, that all publicity is not good publicity. Even though it gets people talking, you don't want people to talk about you and hate on you all at the same time. You really want the people rooting for you because they're the ones that keep your career running. That was just a message for Ice Spice. So what I see, oh Jesus, I'm sorry Ice Spice for you, because it currently seems like this, I said, is she going to be able to bounce back from this? I'm not entirely sure on that answer, but what I do see is what Ice Spice is currently not looking at, which is facing in this direction and is in her past, but is in her but the past affects the present, and the present's ultimately going to affect the future. So what Ice Spice is currently dealing with, or going to be dealing with, all encompassing in one, she is going to be dealing with her job, her occupation, basically what she does for a living. Like I said, her stardom, her livelihood. I'm not sure if she's still on tour, if they just came off of tour, or if she was planning on releasing music soon, or if she's supposed to be even performing at the VMAs, or had to be scheduled to perform at any of the later showing events later this month. Because what happens, I mean, I know that's like a few months to look at in the future, but ultimately what happens now, people are going to remember. So who knows in a few months from now if people are still going to be looking at Ice Spice the way they're looking at her right now. And if they are, I don't think they're going to want to support Ice Spice. And if they don't want to support Ice Spice, I really don't know where her career is going to go, because she can't have a career without a fan base. Of course, there's always going to be those people that are there. But if she is like top tier, like, I know I'm being like over exaggerating. I have no idea how Hollywood tier list work, but just hear me out for A, being like soaring in her career, to D, being at the bottom of the barrel of her career. She went from being like an A tier Ice Spice celebrity to now like a, we'll generously say, a C plus Ice Spice career. So because of that, she got knocked down a few pegs. And if she gets knocked down a few pegs, the question is she going to be able to bounce back and recover from that? Because even though she may lose fans and supporters, there's always going to be people, there's always the diehards and people that just do not care about what you do. And because of that, maybe she can still maintain a career, but it won't be what she has now. You know, if we can go forward and if people are not able to look past this. And I'm not sure if people are going to be able to look past this. I think she's hoping that people are going to be able to look past this, because she's busy looking at the expectations. And ironically, the expectations is too busy looking back at her. And so what does that mean? Well, the expectations is in her future. And like I said, right now in this very moment, she's also expecting that, like I said, people are going to be able to look past this in the future and not look back at it. But also, she has some expectations about her career, or maybe she's not as, what do they say? Not as worried about her career. That's the best I can say. I wanted to say some hip word, but I couldn't think of it. She's trying to not seem like she is worried about her career by having her back turned to it. As you see, her back, it's like it's turned to her occupation or her career. Oh, it's the way I'm holding the cards. And because of that, it seems, and like I said, she's looking at the expectations. So because she has her back turned on her career, and she's just expecting people to look past this and to see the stardom that she has, and to see her fame, her glitz, her glamour, and see the Ice Spice. And hope that she has curated enough image that people just want to continue listening to her. She's hoping that all this can get past her, and she's just like, oh, it's just one or two people that are talking. It's not like everybody's going to believe them, especially if we can make it sound like she was broke. And that's also kind of what Cleopatra was feeling. She was like, you're just trying to do this to make me feel humiliated and feel embarrassed and make me feel less than and feel like I'm unwanted and things like that. So Ice Spice is kind of doing what she intended, but also it's kind of backfiring on her all at the same time. And like they say, you got to be careful on the people you meet on the way up, because they're going to be the very same exact people you're going to meet on the way down. So good luck with that one, Ice Spice. But with all that to be said, what can I say about this expectations? Because now that I've gotten that picture and scenario clear, the fact that she is looking at expectation and expectation is looking back at her. people are not going to be able to look past this because they're going to be looking at Ice Spice and I guess basically say, I see you. And now they're expecting more from Ice Spice. Ice Spice is now going to have to maybe hold herself to a higher regard or to a higher standard, or like they say, behave right or act correctly or be politically correct. However now want to label it. It's many things these days. But all that to be said, that's what is. It's like now that this has been brought to our attention, it's like okay, that's like your strike one. But let's move on forward and don't make a strike two. If you make a strike two, we understand you're human, okay. But if you make a strike three, you didn't learn your lesson, and it's just you at this point. We cannot blame ignorance, blame being a culture vulture, can't blame if that even is what she is. I'm just labeling everything negative people want to put onto Ice Spice because, like I said at the very beginning, she's so racially ambiguous. I don't know. Who knows? She could be lying. I'm not sure. I don't know her. Nobody seems to come out the woodworks that went to college with Ice Spice to say it. So, there's really nobody that can say where Ice Spice or who Ice Spice is before Ice Spice became Ice Spice. So that's just going to remain a mystery unless somebody comes out the woodworks and talks about it. But all we have is to vouch on people that say that Ice Spice is Nigerian or Dominican Republic. I mean, they all have melanin or some form of melanin or on a spectrum of colors. So she got some form of blackness in her. If this is really what it just comes down to, is she black? And if it is, what kind of black? If we want to, that's a whole nother level. That's just like I'm not going to step down on that step. So just to bring it back up to the top and close the door on that one and walk away and out of that room, we're going to be talking more about what's going on with Ice Spice. And what is currently going on is, so that was what's going on with her immediately. What immediately is going on with her in this current moment is exactly what happened in the last 2 days. She's dealing with the aftermath of this, and we're only going to see where it's going to go in the future. But to answer if Ice Spice is a mean girl, it kind of does seem like it because she has been exposed. There's somebody else that can vouch for it. She, according to the card, she's hoping people can look past this, overlook it, realize just, be entertained, just ignore that, that's just one person, that's just one instance. According to Ice Spice, she's like, we can look past that, right, guys? Besides, it was just a clout chasing moment, really, if you ask me. That's how Ice Spice is feeling. Some discrepancies, she say. All I know is somebody is wherever something went wrong and somebody feels slighted, and just for somebody else to come out and kind of confirms that she is a mean girl. And even though there really aren't too bad of negative cards around, the cards that are negative are like really severe. Well, I won't say severe, that is a really bad word, but just you definitely don't want these cards around. And that is the despair card. And the two cards that are influencing her, I mean, there are 4 cards, but 2 out of those 4 cards happen to be below her and right next to the sun. And I told you that sun wasn't very happy because the sun, not even looking about what's weighing down on the sun, which is despair. So let's just put despair up there. Look at that. The sun is just surrounded by negative cards. And the sun can represent your persona, can represent your image, can represent who you are, how you show up in the world, all that relates to who Ice Spice is and how people perceive Ice Spice in the media and how Ice Spice is portrayed in or by Ice Spice or whoever runs Ice Spice, because really, who knows if Ice Spice is being Ice Spice? How much am I going to make by saying Ice Spice? But all that to be said jokingly. It's so really the one card that should be positive is not positive, and it's weighed down by all these negative cards. The 3 negative cards I said that were you just don't want them around you. One is a complete influence, which is this despair card. By complete, I mean direct influence, meaning that is what is currently what she is most focused on, but what she is also focused on, but is least of her concern at this very moment, and is indirectly influencing her, are also 2 negative cards, which is the thief card and the message of concern. Both symbolizing how also this sun pops up in her life. Because first off, maybe this thief, I will say, will represent Cleotrapa, because she felt as though she was slighted in this situation, and for that reason, this is why she has came and exposed Ice Spice. So all that is because this is where Ice Spice's problem stems from. And speaking of that line of influence, what also is on that same direct diagonal is the community. So the community represents people that she has around her. I will get into that, but it also has to do with the people that is around her at this moment, and because of that, they could also maybe be feeling slighted. Maybe there could be more people that have experienced exactly what Cleotrapa has experienced. And because of that, maybe we will hear, as they say, more people come out the woodworks. And that could just be a concern for Ice Spice. Why is that going to be a concern? Because people are going to be judging her, giving her a verdict, looking at her differently. Like I suggested earlier, it's all about her image, and she's hoping, expecting, and wishing for people to just look past this and just see her image. But also, you got to live your image. You cannot be a double image. That just doesn't work out for anybody. But this, whatever people choose to believe, choose to follow, and choose to respond to this situation is going to have some effect on Ice Spice and how she is, like I said earlier and throughout this reading, perceived by the community. And also maybe she she might have like a smaller fan base. Maybe her fan base might shrink a little bit. Who knows? Maybe somebody just didn't really manage her properly. But hey, that's what happens when you're just on a come up, Just okay, everybody is on it. Maybe that was a little bit of jealousy. Who knows, honestly. It could be me, what went on there, and what else could have gone on behind closed doors that nobody knows of, because nobody has yet to speak out about what has happened between them and Ice Spice. But I hope you enjoyed this reading. I've came to the final conclusion that Ice Spice, yes, she is a mean girl, and she, I don't want to say she wears it proudly or doesn't want to wear it proudly, but whatever it is, she is definitely not happy that this side of her has been exposed, and now the general public, along with Cleotrapa, is feeling, what is the best word to say? Hoodwinked, maybe? I'm not sure if that's the right term. Feel, I don't want to keep saying slighted, but they feel bamboozled, maybe, by Ice Spice. And so because of that, maybe people are going to have to really double check, triple check, look back on Ice Spice, and maybe this is where people are going to start really doing deep dives in Ice Spice and really look back at her history and where she had came from more than they have already have. Maybe so she's gonna get like doxxed or something. I don't know. I don't want any of this to happen. Remember, everything I do say is allegedly. But you know how cancel culture can really grab their claws and sink them in when they really want to. And I'm not sure if this is something that is going to strike a hardcore chord with the community, just the rapping community or just the black community in general. But whatever it is, Ice Spice is trying to fit in. Maybe she has always had to fight for her identity all along because of her ambiguity. But whatever it may be, it's not looking good for Ice Spice. Ice Spice just wants this to go away. It's not going to go away, Ice Spice, and I don't think you can do anything to fix this either. It just doesn't look good. Hopefully, no more people come out and you can bounce back from this. But yeah, stop being a mean girl while your reputation can still be saved. Let me say that. Stop being a mean girl while your reputation can still be saved. Because, like I said, you don't want to get the label mean girl. Change your ways. I know she's 24, getting ready to go on 25, but at the same time, it's just like you have the time and potential to change. And now she's getting ready to come up to her Saturn return in 2 years, and who knows, this might just play into that role a little bit, but we'll leave that one alone for a bit. Just astrology a little bit right there and looking at her age and number. Oh, and also because she's 24 at this moment when this did happen, it's very fitting for the number 2 and the number 4 that I was talking about earlier. So for this all to come out, especially during the summer, which who knows? I'm not sure exactly when no wonder she named her tour Y2K. Oh, she embodies that energy truly well. But all that to be said, you know what? She could be honestly harpering back to those mean girl energies back in the Y2Ks too. So who knows? Maybe that could just be her influence. What she could have grown up with. Who knows where Ice Spice came from? But that being said, I do not want to hold you guys up any longer talking about Ice Spice and how she just wants this to go away because this is who she is, and we're seeing her for who she is. Her true colors are showing, and she just wants her true colors to go away. She's just like, just ignore that. Just put that behind. We gonna act like that never happened. That's how Ice Spice feels. She's like, y'all could just forget that and we just move forward, right? Okay, cool, thanks. That's how Ice Spice is feeling. So, I'm not sure how that's really gonna work out for you, Ice Spice, but we'll see. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Ice Spice and to see if she is a mean girl. The cards say apparently so, like 70%. It seems like it, and this is not a good image for her. But I can't say she needs to change her image. I mean, she can change her image. It's never too late to change. But like, really, who would she be changing her image for? And it could also just be for the rise and come up that she came and the route that she came up. Maybe she really isn't as humbled. So because of that, maybe she is a little bit more of the cutthroat industry that really just doesn't give a F about anybody. She's like really giving me like J-Lo vibes, and you don't want to be another J-Lo Ice Spice. Especially from being from the Bronx. Don't be another J-Lo. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Ice Spice. Please give me comments and suggestions on anybody else you would like me to read, specifically in their 20s. So that way I'm able to relate to them a little bit more. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It would really help the channel and it means a lot to the Crones. And give us a thumbs up if you have not already, or if you enjoyed this video, or if you've made it this far, please give us a thumbs up. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading and sunflowers.